It's documented. Everything I talk about is on file. Records.
What's the deal, man? It's William McLean at Dwayne McLean TV. Back with another video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll probably look tired because I am, but we're going to keep working and no days off, baby. We're going to keep putting this work in. I want to send out I haven't had a chance to talk about it, but I hope everybody's doing well. Send out my condolences for everybody in Asheville, North Carolina. It's like 2 or 3 hours from me, man. I talked to this girl a long time ago from Asheville. She had a huge head. Her name was Janae. Big, gigantic head, man. She had a big, gigantic dome head. And she was like, I told her I couldn't fight, but she got to protect me because she like 5'9" strong. And she wanted me to do all this work. She wanted me to do all this texting. I'm like, girl, your head, you got a dome head. Like, your head domed up. Her head about this big, bro. How big her head was? That girl had all head. Her head was at least about the size of this water jug. How big the jug is? It's like 2 water jugs, bro. Girl was all dome. She was from Asheville, so shouts out to her. I hope she okay. She ain't up there no more, you know what I'm saying? We never made it, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't about to do all that work, girl. Your head was big. You know what I'm saying? I was immature back then. Y'all probably talk to her now. But anyways, man, hope everybody in Asheville is straight, man. Hope y'all straight. We got a great video for y'all today, man. I'm gonna be going some edits with this one. So we're gonna be talking about. So first thing first, I gotta talk about this dude here, because they be trying to say that the government can't control the weather. Y'all, the government controlling the weather is not a conspiracy theory. So people were saying that Hurricane Helene was controlled by the government. Y'all, most of these hurricanes controlled by the government. Most weather is manipulated by the government. And he was trying to say, oh, if they could control the weather, they'll do this, they'll do that. I'm like, buddy, are you serious? Like for real, this is the reason why the world is going to end, because we got people out here who refuse to understand documented information out. The government, I'm gonna show y'all at the end of this video, the government controlling the weather is documented. This ain't no conspiracy. It's documented information. Y'all watch this.
If they could do those area, we're about to have floods. I'll move those clouds over here. Snowstorms, nope, we're sending them back to Canada. Hurricane, let's just turn that back around, send it out into the Atlantic. They would be doing those things if they could do those things. But none of that's actually happening because they can't control the weather. And it's crazy to think that they can. But the craziest part of this story is that's not even the only crazy thing Green said this week.
See, it's dudes like this right here that aggravate me. Clear as day, he just want to be argumentative. Y'all, there's been talks about the government controlling the weather since 1947. Like I said, we're going to talk about it in this video. But he was talking about this lady, we'll show her in a second. But he was talking about this lady here, Marjorie Taylor Greene, condemned over the Helene weather conspiracy theory. Basically saying the government had something to do with it. Y'all, I'm about to show y'all so many clips of where there's proof that the government stuff. Here's the thing. We got proof that they control the weather. Y'all watch some of these clips. Don't skip. Watch them all straight through, because I went all over to YouTube, find them. YouTube, this is fair use. This is all for the news. This is all entertainment and educational purposes. Y'all chill out. All right, so this has been a change of plans. I'm just going to make the video myself. I try my best to get that video uploaded on YouTube. There's a strong copyright claim on that one, man. I kept getting copyrights for the past 2 days, but not letting me upload nothing. So I said, at this point, I might just make the content myself about cloud seeding. So pretty much what cloud seeding is a traditional method of rain making in use since 1940, so almost 100 years. An aircraft injects silver iodide or other substances into the atmosphere. The chemical mimics the particles that serve as a surface for condensation that creates water droplets. Once the condensation creates water droplets that are large enough, the rain will fall. So they've been doing this since 1940 as far as that. And like I said, man, YouTube had this video out. It's the same stuff I'm telling y'all, man. But we're going to continue talking about whatever cloud seeding is, man. But they've been giving me the runaround for the past 2 days. All right. Here's it said dispense of chemicals on the clouds, condensates of water vapor. So pretty much the cloud seeding hits the cloud, the water attached to because a cloud is nothing but water, basically. So it's just like there's water that's not cold enough to fall, so it just sits in the air. You know what I'm saying? That was also part of the video what a cloud is. All right, so here's another thing. So what is cloud seeding? Clouds are made up of tiny water droplets or ice crystals that form when water vapor in the atmosphere cools and condenses around any tiny particle of dust or salt floating in the atmosphere. Without these particles known as condensations or ice nuclei, raindrops or snowflakes cannot form and precipitation will not occur. Cloud seeding is a weather modification technique that improves a cloud's ability to produce rain or snow by introducing tiny ice nuclei into certain types of subfreezing clouds. These nuclei provide a base for snowflakes to form. After cloud seeding takes place, the newly formed snowflakes quickly grow and fall from the clouds back to the surface of the earth, increasing snowpack and stream flow. All right, now this is the part where we're going to talk about the people who buy cloud seeding, okay? So basically this whole part is for me to show that there is such thing as weather manipulation. Now, are they saying that they are using cloud seeding to control hurricanes? That's a different story. But I believe they are. All right. Now, you yourself can purchase cloud seeding if you know the right people. All right. So cloud seeding is purchased by a variety of entities, including states, utility companies, and water managers. States, cloud seeding is used in many western U.S. states, including California, Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, North Dakota, Utah, or Idaho. So pretty much they use this to create rain during droughts in these western states. Also, water managers, Santa Barbara County Water Agency uses cloud seeding to increase surface water runoff in watersheds behind major water reservoirs. National Meteorological Centers, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia National, uses cloud seeding, and Avet Internationals and its partners equip aircraft with cloud seeding devices to support the program. So many companies use cloud seeding, right? This is an article right now that show how the Fed spent $2.4 million on cloud seeding. And if you're a regular person, you would not know nothing about this. I guarantee you go on the street, you're like, hey, you know, the government or anybody out there could buy technology to produce rain or make their own rain. Did you know that? I'm pretty sure that person's going to say no. All right, it says here, Denver, the Southern Nevada Water Authority on Thursday voted to accept a $2.4 million grant from the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation to fund cloud seeding in other western states whose rivers feed the parched desert region. The weather modification method uses planes and ground-based cannons to shoot silver iodide crystals in the clouds, attracting moisture to particles that falls as an additional snow and rain. All right, so pretty much right here is clear proof that you can modify the weather if you want. To begin with the price of conducting cloud seeding, an average 4-hour operation that seeds 24 clouds will cost around $5,000. Now let's do the math. For the cost of 1,000 hours last year, it will cost around $1.25 million a year. So cloud seeding is an expensive project. And it says here, in November 1946, a GE pilot took Schaefer to create history's first man-made snowstorm. Subsequent flights and research showed that, like Schaefer's ColdBot, silver iodide worked even better, making it the go-to material for manipulating the weather. A few pounds of silver iodide would be enough to nucleate all the air in the United States at one time, Venner wrote in 1947. So if they ever want to press the button on us to flood out the earth, they can, or flood out the United States, they can. So this right here, this whole thing about them not being able to control weather is kind of far-fetched to me. And especially if they was doing this in 1947, I'm pretty sure they do have ways of manipulating a hurricane now today in 2024. So that last clip I just showed y'all was funny because they pretty much just saying, hey, we can pay for the cloud seeding. If we need a wine company can do it, pretty much they can, and they can't make rain, but they can control how much rain comes out. You see, they say some people say we need to pay for it for more snow, and to debunk that dude from earlier. So if they can control the weather, why wouldn't they stop this and stop that? It's all about weather manipulation. They're not controlling it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna show y'all another clip. This right here is from I forgot what it's from, but yeah, I'm gonna show y'all another clip, man, and y'all watch this one, all right?
Bloomfield, Michigan, 1942. As World War II rages across several continents, acclaimed architect and eventual designer of the St. Louis Arch, Eero Saarinen, is secretly enlisted by the United States military to work for a new clandestine organization. Its name? The OSS, Office of Strategic Services, or as it is known today, the CIA.
The fact that Eero Saarinen was in the OSS designing weapon systems during World War II, and at a time when the OSS was looking into ways to weaponize weather, makes his whole connection to the design of the St. Louis Arch extremely interesting. Now, that isn't to say I believe it can control the weather, but it does open the door to the idea that it might have been one of the things Saarinen was out to achieve.
While at the OSS, Saarinen designed buildings and weapon systems, many of which were never completed or built. Is it possible he later used these secret plans to engineer the St. Louis Arch? creating something that can actually control or perhaps harness the weather.
Controlling the weather is the ultimate superweapon. It's even more powerful than the atomic bomb. So if Eero Saarinen was involved in analyzing and studying the possibility of weather modification, and you put all those factors together, and I think you have a guy that basically conducted a big, giant weather modification experiment with the St. Louis Arch.
Weather as a weapon? There are some who think the idea is not as preposterous as it seems, especially when considering that even today, many world governments are pouring millions of dollars into research designed to manipulate weather.
I think weather modification has definitely been an ongoing endeavor of governments all over the world for decades. St. Louis Arch appears to be an experiment in weather modification. The HAARP device appears to be an experiment in weather modification. Who knows what the Russians or the Chinese are doing? There's some sort of technology out there.
There's been lots of work in the field of weather control, using silver iodide inside of thunderstorms to decrease the size of hail. That goes on in many parts of the world to alleviate that problem. They're always firing rockets into the atmosphere in China to manipulate the weather. But is this a good idea?
You wonder if you could steer a tornado. What would it take? Even a nuclear weapon might just nudge it, if even that.
One challenge with that is your shock wave is going to be hard to focus, perhaps, and it might cause the damage you were hoping to avoid with the tornado. I would be looking at how much can I control or change local pressures in the atmosphere near and around the tornado.
These are forces at work that could wipe out major cities. And we're finding out every day new things that we've never seen before. So maybe the lesson learned here is we shouldn't meddle with forces that we don't really understand, because we may not like the result.
The very fabric of reality. So what sparked all these conspiracy theories regarding HAARP? Maybe it was the experiment scientists were performing back in March 2004. Using a 1 megawatt generator, scientists sent radio pulses every 7.5 seconds towards the ionosphere from the HAARP mega array of antennas, which covered acres of land. These radio waves travelled 30 miles up, hitting the ionosphere, which resulted in a modest neon light show visible from the ground. Natural aurora happens when electrons from a cloud of hot gas, known as plasma, rains down from space and excites the molecules in the ionosphere. However, HAARP was able to create a similar experience by sending powerful radio waves from the ground. Maybe this is why conspiracy theories have their concerns and have created these bizarre and ludicrous theories. However, as documented in the Feb 2005 edition of the journal Nature, this experiment was to improve understanding of the aurora and help explain how the ionosphere adversely affects radio communications. After this experiment took place, the scientists were left with a tantalizing possibility that such radio-fueled emissions could one day form the basis of a technology which can be used for urban lighting and even celestial advertising. So the questions are, what is HAARP? Why was it made? How does it work? And who owns HAARP? Now, originally HAARP was owned by the US Air Force, but since 2015 it was handed over to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Now, technically, HAARP is the world's most capable, high-power, high-frequency transmitter for study of the eye.
In 1962, the US government launched Project Storm Fury, which aimed to hack hurricanes by seeding them with a chemical that would remove their moisture. Over the course of a decade, Navy pilots set out for the skies directly above a series of hurricanes and sprayed a substance called silver iodide into them, believing it would turn the supercooled water inside the storm into ice, which would then fall out of the clouds in the form of hail. With the moisture removed from the clouds around the eye wall, it was thought they would grow faster and steal the warm air that had been feeding the eye, thereby choking it to death. Or so Storm Fury's scientists hoped. Dr. Hugh Willoughby was one of them.
Out of the 8 attempts, there seemed to be 4 successes. The landmark experiment was in Hurricane Debby in 1969, where they attempted to seed the storm twice, and both times it weakened after they seeded.
And there was also this movie that came out a few years ago called Geostorm. Now, this movie was also about weather manipulation. And just like Hollywood, they always got to tell us the truth about what they're really doing. And this more so was about satellites going out of control, and they had to, get the president. They always make these movies high stake. But this movie was a box office bomb. It didn't make that much. Around the time, there was a lot of catastrophic movies that came out that was about, crazy weather, like the movie 2012 and stuff like that. So Hollywood has to tell us what's going on. And clear as day, especially from what I showed earlier in the video, that weather control is something that is normal amongst, outside looking in, So amongst us, we think it's crazy, but we're rich people with businesses. If you own a wine vineyard or something like that, you can employ cloud seeding, basically weather manipulation. Now, this movie kind of went overboard with it, basically showing the world destroying and all that stuff. And I can guarantee y'all, man, the powers that be are not going to destroy any parts of the planet. They're not going to do that because they need us to continue to fund their lifestyle. Remember, we humans, we're the ones who fund it by paying taxes and, being a slave every day. So the idea that there's going to be this gigantic storm that's going to take out the entire United States is not real, basically. So if you ever get a chance, check out this movie Geostorm. It's about basically everything we're talking about, HAARP and stuff like that. And it has my boy Gerard Butler in it, and a few other white men, the men who are extra white. Like the white men in this movie are white. Like these are white men, you know what I'm saying? They don't have no culture or nothing. Like these guys are white. They eat meatloaf and sweet peas and, they play croquet and stuff like that. And they cut the crust off their peanut butter jelly sandwich. These guys are white in this movie. But check this out if y'all want to. And like I said, y'all, there's more hurricanes coming. We're going to see this happen a lot more often. My question is, what are we the people going to be able to do to stop stuff like this? So I just showed y'all the video on cloud seeding. Let's go over a few of the operations. We have here Operation Popeye. Operation Popeye, project-controlled, weather-operated motor pool intermediary Calm Patriot was a military cloud seeding project carried out by the U.S. Air Force during Vietnam War in 1967 and 1972. The highly classified program attempted to extend the monsoon season over specific areas for the Ho Chi Minh Trail to disrupt the North Vietnamese military supplies by softening road surface and causing landslides. So they was doing this since 1967, manipulating the weather, man. So this is not nothing new. They said the chemical weather modification program was conducted from Thailand over Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and allegedly sponsored by the Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and the Charlie Igloo Alpha without the authorization of the Secretary of Defense, Melvin Lariat, who had categorically denied to Congress that a program for modification of weather for use as a tactical weapon was even existed. So they pretty much saying right here they lied about using any weapon for weather manipulation. This right here is an image of the pilots who was all there to help create the weather disruption that was going on in the 1940s, 60s, and all. This is a group of pilots right here. So this stuff been going on for a long time, y'all. So you're crazy to believe that this stuff is not happening. All this stuff been happening. All the weather manipulation stuff been happening. So this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. I do believe that them boys in Washington did have their hand in with this Hurricane Helene. We have here Project Cyrus was the first attempt to modify a hurricane. Point blank period here, y'all. The modified hurricane, this is icing on the cake right here. It was collaboration of the General Electric Corporation, the U.S. Army Signal Corps, and the Office of Naval Research and the U.S. Air Force. After several preparations and initial skepticism by the government scientists, the first attempt to modify a hurricane began on October 13, 1947 on Hurricane Cape Sable that was heading west to east out to sea. So right there, clear as day in 1947, y'all, this documented stuff, man. It's documented.
It's documented. Everything I talk about is on file. Records.
And here's a piece that I found where the public actually was blaming them boys in Washington about seeding hurricanes. So it said the public blamed seating, and the Irvin Langmuir claimed that the reversal had been caused by human intervention. Service was canceled and lawsuits were threatened. Only the fact that a system in 1906 had taken a similar path, as well as evidence showing that the storm had already begun to turn when seeding began, ended the litigation. This disaster set back the cause of seeding hurricanes for 11 years. If you ask me, I do believe that the boys in Washington has their hand into controlling how the weather works, controlling how the entire, they can manipulate how the weather works and how it happens. Now, who employed for this Helen thing to happen? Think about it. North Carolina is a battle state. Think about it. They knew the Dems would probably be slow to this situation. What if, hypothetically speaking, they paid for Hurricane Helene to go into North Carolina and handle it the way it did to raise votes? They do it all the time, man. They don't care about saving the people, man. Think about it. I do think they'll go that far, man. I think they want to win this election that far. I think the Republican Party had to stage two attempts on Trump's life. I think a lot of stuff's going on. I really think they really want to win this really bad. You know, so I think they're taking the strains of crazy lengths to get this done. You know, I think some people, the powers that be above the Republican Party, called this to make it happen because they know the Dems were going to be slow to make this happen. Think about it. The Democrat Party spent so much money on these migrants, spent $20,000, $30,000 on these migrants, $50,000 on these migrants. Y'all, I want free money. I work way too hard. Can somebody send me $1,700? I want $1,700. I feel like every American should get $1,300 a month. We should get a stipend. If you don't have any felons, you don't have any charges, you're paying your taxes, you're just a good, outstanding citizen, I think by year 1, we should get $200. By year 5, $1,300, $1,500 a stipend. It'd be amazing. I was like, oh, this socialism. Oh, social. I don't get this communism. I love social studies growing up. I loved it, man, but I never knew that was. I thought that was breaking bread with the community. Y'all got to give the migrants $20,000, but gave them people with the hurricane $700. We can't do nothing. $700 is a new $200. You can't do nothing. The new $1,000 is $1,000 is $100 now. Back then, $100 could get you so much stuff. I remember I had $100 back then. Think about right now, if you got $100, you fill up your tank. Your tank $50, that's gone. If you got a small car, $40. Good if you got your little, right now is the time to have a small Corolla or something. But if you got a car like mine, it's $55, $60 to fill up. Fill up the tank. You got $40 left. $40. You go out and get something to eat. A minimum fast food thing, $10 to get something to eat. $10. You say you spent $12. You down to what? $28. Once you get $28, what you gonna do with that? You might as well pocket that. You might have to eat again, might have to buy something. Who knows, man? $100 can't get you nowhere nowadays. So she gonna send set. So they probably knew that this is gonna be bad on her care. I think this right here probably put her in the ground. Right before the elect time, a cane comes. You are already the party in office, and you didn't come help me. You slow. Yeah, I think the Republican boys paid some bread. Hey, here a couple $100 million on the side. Send some airplanes up there to seed the hurricane and control it, make it do what it do, make sure it hit North Carolina. I needed to hit that place hard where all them, because North Carolina's a heavy support state, but North Carolina's also a heavy Democrat state because all the black people here are brainwashed. Nobody should be voting, my personal opinion, you should not be voting for them Democrats. They are crazy. And black people do it because we think that's what we're supposed to do. They do it out of fear. All they do is fear-monger black people. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that this is one controlled situation. I think all the hurricanes are. So, man, what do these people want, man? I need to go home. Y'all don't want nothing. I need a vacation. I'm going on vacation in November. Taking a vacation, man. I'm going on, I don't know where I'm flying to. I'm getting a plane ticket and I'm out of here. I want nobody to come with me. I'm alone. No, nothing. I'm gonna go there and we're gonna eat. I'm gonna lay the wood down. It's gonna be a great little vacation, man. I need some time away, man. I'm leaving everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that plane ticket. I'm flying away. You know what I'm saying? I might go to the Bermuda Triangle or something. I don't know. Anyways, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Dwayne Clayton TV. I hope y'all like this video. YouTube, fair use. Let me rock. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. I'm out.